Hey guys, what's up? It's Tim Lee Michael, and it's time to draw some stuff that's going to help you figure out how to draw people a little better and get a better likeness. There's a really key feature that you got to consider when it comes to drawing likeness, and that's getting the eyes in alignment. Now, I'm not saying how one eye lines up to another, even though that does matter. I'm talking about the idea of slants. So here's 3 slants that we need to keep in mind. This, and this. And here's why this is so important. Many people have many different kinds of eyes. But if you want to figure out how to draw one person's eyes in comparison to someone else's, you have to learn to think about these lines. And if you're curious about this, go and check out my first 1 or 2 videos I did on eyes, and it'll give you a little bit of a hint of what I'm talking about. When it comes to eyes, like I said before in the first video, that tear duct in the bottom is usually lower than the top of the eye. But this could still be considered a somewhat straight eye. Now, when things get a little bit more intense, say like this, take a look at what happens to the design form of the eye. If you see someone with a real cat's eye, and it has a really strong form to it, then this is where you can see a direction, an angle, an intensity of the eye go in one direction that you want to define. In the same way as this line, if it's this line, maybe they have a very droopy eye, and maybe they have something that kind of sits a little bit lower and a droopy over flap, over skin. Maybe there's a lot of bag under the eye that's really giving off that form. And it's things like these that you need to learn that help you with what I call roadmaps. They give you definition and structure to help you figure out what you need to draw, because a lot of eyes can be built off of these 3 forms, and depending on what you need, depending on what style you are, or if you're a caricature artist and you have to draw fast, once you can recognize these forms, you can push through to get a caricature done twice as fast, because you're focused on getting those little details on other parts of the face, where when you really just needed to cover this much information on this part of the face, you can just knock it out and move on to the other details. Because in caricature, you have to look at the most defined part of the face and focus on that. So if the eye is not a defining face because they got this humongous whopping smile, focus little on this to focus on that smile to get that detail where you need it. That's going to do it for this tutorial. Don't forget, you can check me out on Instagram, on Facebook at Tim Lee Michael. And thank you so much for following me. If you do, I do a lot of crazy stuff on my Instagram and my Facebook. I'm actually a photographer and a videographer as well, so do tons of stuff on those, and would love for you to check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget, I have a Patreon, and if you're interested in supporting me, my patrons get to see my videos come out a few days before everyone else, and we're looking for more ways that we can bless you guys with some extra little gifts for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much. Love you guys. We'll see you next time right here on the Tim Lee Michael channel. See ya.